is Shannon from Beauty on a Budget. Well, if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you for coming, and I want to thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the content of this program. Well, today we are going to talk about verbal abuse and how it affects our mental well-being. Well, let me just give you a little information about myself. I am a single mom of 4, and I have bipolar 1 disorder, and it is a psychiatric diagnosis. So yeah, it's hard. Mania and depression are hard. And if you have bipolar, depression, anxiety, I also have chronic anxiety disorder, generalized it's called. So I do take medication for the bipolar and anxiety, and it helps. It really does help, but also therapy and going to day programs and reading, and yeah, it helps. And I did go to college and get my license, but apparently I can't work because kind of like my mental illness did take over, and it like forbids me from working because I can't handle all that stress and pressure. So now I'm a stay-at-home mom, and you know, but well, I just want to tell you that, you know, your mania and your depression with bipolar, it's like your mania brings you up here and you feel high as a kite. You do things like you obsessively shoplift, you obsessively have sex, you obsessively talk, you obsessively eat. You love that high, like you use drugs if you're a drug addict, you drink obsessively, like where you can't stop. And then you got your lows, it's like a hill. You got your lows where you're like severely depressed, sleep all day, eat all day, think horrible thoughts, and might end up in the psych ward. But don't get me wrong, when you're up high, you don't like it after a while. You're like, how come I can't sleep? Why am I in jail for stealing? Why am I drunk and passed out on someone's lawn? You know, you don't like that feeling either, so that's not a good feeling to have. So, and a lot of stuff stems from what happens to you in your lifetime. Like, I had a really good childhood, but I chose to not tell my mom, look, there's something going on with me. My lifestyle isn't right. There's something biological and chemological going on with me in my head. You know, at 13, I wasn't a good kid. I wasn't your normal teenager. I was very depressed. It actually started when I was 9. I remember coming home from school, and I would go right to bed. Like, there was no, oh, mom, nothing. I would just come in the house and go to bed. And nobody said anything. It was like normal. Like, my mom would be, oh, Shannon, sleep. And I don't know if, like, my mom was in denial that I was doing this behavior, or she was wondering and she didn't say anything, because my mother is a registered nurse, so she is very smart. So I'm not going to discredit her for that. So, but she never thought to think, like, why is my 9-year-old daughter in bed after school? Why isn't she out playing with her kids? I mean, with her friends? Why isn't that happening? Like, why isn't she in, like, clubs at the YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club? And why isn't she in activities like volleyball, cheerleading, or something? Like, I would come home and literally go right to sleep. I wouldn't even do my homework. I do my homework at like 10 at night. Yeah, I'd sleep that long. So right there, that's the first sign that your child is depressed. But it wasn't treated because everybody just knew me and they knew I was going to bed. And they thought it was normal. Because people don't like to think that their kid is like a little off or weird. But like with me, with my children, I see like the signs. Like when my Joey was little, he had a little bit of like an ADHD tendency. And I got him help right away. And they diagnosed him and they helped him. They didn't put him on medication, but they gave him psychiatric treatment, where he saw like a therapist and he did like little groups and stuff for kids. And that helped him out. He has a little bit of it still, but it's not as bad as it was because he was so young. See, I'm against giving medication to a child. I feel like that their brain develops and they don't need medication. But Joey was so young that I didn't want to put him on medication, and I researched like other things he could do. So yeah, so but yeah. So when I was 9, that happened, and then when I was 13 years old, I graduated grammar school and went to high school, and my mom put me in a really good high school. She paid a lot of money, the poor thing. I feel bad for her, but it is what it is. Stuff happens in your past. I would be a bully. I'd fight people. I would swear at people. I was out of control. Total sign of something's going wrong with me in my head. I would cuss at the teachers. I would throw desks. I would punch kids. I mean, I had a problem up here, and that still was unknown by my mom. So at 14, I literally robbed a car. I took somebody's car and I robbed it. Took the keys. A person was in the house. I took their car and robbed it. I got caught, went to juvie for a day, and they mandated me to go into the psych ward. So my mom finally said, you know what, trying to get this girl some help, because she ain't all there in the head, or whatever she was thinking, because I'm the baby. So I'm sorry if there's a glare in the background. I'm the baby, so she's going to be in denial about me because I was her little princess, and and I was always outspoken. Like, I would swear at people real young, and I didn't care. Nobody hit me, nobody hollered at me. It was like normal for me. They'd always go, Shannon's just a bad kid, she got a bad mouth, that's the Italian in her, don't pay attention to her. But yeah, it was hard, So anyway, when I went to juvie for stealing a car, they finally put me in a psychiatric home where I was just diagnosed with ADHD, hyperactive disorder. Now, that was the wrong diagnosis. I know I had, in my eyes now, I had ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder at the time. When I was little, I had depression because I would sleep. Maybe there was a little depression going on. Maybe I hated myself. Maybe that's why I lashed out on people. But I don't know. But I was in several different psychiatric wards as a young girl. Anyway, because I want to get to my topic. When I was 20, I always thought about heart disease. Every day I think I'd have a heart attack. And I was only 20 years old. It was crazy. So I went to my medical doctor and told him. And he said I was depressed. And he told me how the Paxil pill breaks down and how it works in your brain and everything. So he put me on Paxil. And Paxil worked for 5 years. Now, during this 20-year time, I met my ex-husband, and I had a daughter with him. Now, all through my pregnancy was horrible. This man verbally abused me, called me every name under the bus. I mean, I was a whore. I was a bee. I was fat. I was ugly. I wouldn't amount to nothing. That's not my kid. You slept around. You slept with my brother. You're nothing. You're slow. You're retarded. You're on medicine. These are all the words that I had to hear in my mouth. I would rather have him take his fist and punch me in my face than be verbally abused. I mean, guys, I don't know if you've ever been through this, but it's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. It messes with your psyches. And when you're already sick, how do you handle that? How do you handle that? You lash out. You take it out on other people. I was so mean to my mom, and my mom was there for me and helped me with my daughter. I want to cry because I remember how horrible it was for me. But I stayed with the prick. I stayed with him and had 2 other kids with this man. Okay, so all during our relationship, I was so heavy. I just kept eating and eating and eating. And I thought I couldn't get nobody else. I came out to being 480 pounds. That's why I have all this excess skin on my arms. I literally had to have gastric bypass surgery or I would have died. And I couldn't leave my kids like that, knowing that their mother died from being obese. All I did was eat and hear shit from him. You're nothing, you're worthless, you're stupid, you're huge, you're a blimp, you're a cow, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And all in my head I would cry. I'd be like, God, maybe I am ugly. Maybe I am big. So I'm just gonna have this bag of chips, or I'm just gonna have this cheeseburger. I'm just gonna drink this can of pop. It was horrible. It made me cry every single day. I cry myself at night, till I finally got therapy and I met my therapist. Her name was Evelyn, and she told me, you're worth it. Write down good aspirations about yourself. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Look in the mirror. So I had the surgery and I lost over 300 pounds. And guys, I don't know if that boosted my morale, but it helped. People started looking at me. Men started telling me I'm pretty. My family would say, oh, Shannon, wow, you really did the best thing for yourself. You know, I finally had the courage to leave him. I said, I'm done. I can't do it no more. So verbal abuse is horrible. You don't have to go through it. Leave that situation. I mean, I could have ate myself to death because I was drowning myself in them feelings. And this man, our baby son is 14. He still verbally abuses me to this day. And I'm not even married to him anymore. He just called me a scumbag the other day. And you know what? I'm not a scumbag. I'm Shannon. I have self-worth. I love myself. He doesn't love himself. For somebody to put somebody down, that's inward anger. He doesn't love himself. But I know I love myself. And I know I have self-worth. And I know I'm special. But it took me years and years and years and years and years. Don't get me wrong, physical abuse is horrible. Horrible. No one man or no woman should hit nobody. But that verbal abuse, and he does it to my 24-year-old daughter. She can't stand her father. He calls her names. It's not nice. Now he's doing it to her. It's like a cycle. It's just not nice. And nobody should have to deal with it. Verbal abuse is hard. It's hard. People turn out to be drug addicts. People turn out to be alcoholics. People turn out to be mean to their children. I mean, you guys, if you deal with verbal abuse, please get yourself some help. Alright, well, I'm going to end at that. And I just wanted to say, if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that comment button and that like button. And I just want to tell you all beauties and stay beautiful and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Ever since the day that you went away.